to AstroEnergy with astrologer angel Shelley Overton. Hello and welcome to the October 3rd, 2017 edition of the AstroEnergy Show. My name is Shelley Overton and I live in Orlando, Florida. And I am happy to be here with you today and try and contribute a little positivity to the world in a world that desperately needs it. So wherever you are, I hope you're doing okay. I can tell you I am definitely picking up the energy, and it's been a very weepy couple of days. And even before I knew what was going on, I feel like I picked up a little bit of it. So, I think it's just my tipping point. I really just need to have positive things in my world. And, I was looking yesterday at something, what was it? I think it was a video, or it might have been an article, I don't know which, but they said that part of the reason we are so attracted to tragedy or car accidents and things like that is because in our world, we, as a long-time biological motivation, we have been trying to make sure we know where there are things going on so we can run the other way for survival. So that kind of seemed to make some sense to me. But the other thing that I believe in is law of attraction. And, when you focus so much on negativity, how can you be surprised when you keep attracting more of it? So I am not going to focus on the tragedies per se. I absolutely will put them into my prayers, and I know that it is a difficult time for people. And I'm really hoping that the events of 2 days ago will bring people to a point where they just won't tolerate this kind of behavior and, do something about it and maybe put aside egoic points of view and maybe rise up to a higher spirituality and try and see a better way to interact with other people in the world. Because it's just, I think that the more we focus on it, the bigger they're going to get. I mean, I was just waiting for it. I heard what happened, and I'm in Orlando, so I dealt with Pulse. Pulse was the biggest, quote, the biggest mass shooting in the history of the world, or the history of America, which probably, I can't say that there weren't bigger ones somewhere in the world, but and then I was just waiting. Oh, well, here's the bigger one. And sure enough, they labeled it. So it's time to put our focus where we can do something, for one, and on more positive things, for two. So if we want to have a better world, then let's make a better world. And the way I make a better world is by helping people understand astrology. So I'm going to talk about astrology. So today we are coming up on a full moon in Aries. And as much as I'm trying to be positive, Aries does rule aggression and masculinity. And if full moon, I think historically we know the full moons bring out emotion. So we're going to have an emotional energy coming out energetically through more aggressive means. And we also have the full moon at Thursday. I'm actually looking at the full moon chart here, and it's tomorrow at Thursday at 12:53 a.m. And that's at Eastern time. The now chart is, hang on one second, I'll just switch over real quick. So the now chart has Mars within 1 degree of conjunct to Venus. So Venus, of course, desire, and again, moon is receptive feminine energy, mother, nurturing, emotional. We have Venus also normally emotional, but in Virgo, which can be very analytical and much more cut off or crisp from the desire. And definitely Virgo is the sign that will be altruistic or humble or give up desires personally for someone else. It's a sign of service. So desires tend to be, as a historical Virgo way of looking at desires are, they uncomfortable. Virgo, a disposition in a person's chart, if they have it natally, it can be uncomfortable with acknowledging desire. And so they deflect it. And in deflecting it, they feel more comfortable helping other people with their desires. And within 1 degree of Mars, it makes us more aware of practical things and taking action towards practical things. And again, the ruler of Virgo is Mercury, which is now at 6 degrees Libra, coming up on the sun. So Mercury is also, as you've heard, if you've listened to the show in the past, is the planet that can bring about unexpected change or shift, as well as accidents or unexpected attitudes or words, things like that. Coming up on the sun, which is ego, it means that we are more inclined to say what we want to say in a partnership situation. But that also means that Venus and Mars are answering both to Mercury and ergo the sun. So there has been an energy normally, any planets in Libra, of a cooperation energy. Jupiter in the last degrees, 28 degrees of Libra, has been infusing the scales of balance with more weight on the side that represents the self. So that means the scales are a bit out of sync and out of whack with cooperation. And because Jupiter's at 28 and Uranus is at 27, Uranus rules the unexpected, rules, again, taking a quick left turn, always being able to move with the flow of energy, and that's what Uranus is really good at bringing in, is electrical energy, mental stimulation. Again, I say it a lot, and maybe if you haven't listened to the show as much as I've talked about it on the show, it's new to you, but I repeat myself because if you repeat yourself, then people learn. So I am repeating that Uranus is unexpected, but is the sign of the genius, and it is the planet, of channeling. That means information comes in fast and furious because our brains are electrical, and we pick up all this energy that comes into the synapses in many different ways, so many different wavelengths, gamma and radiation and ultraviolet and radio waves, and there's just so much energy that we do know about and energy we don't, that is bombarding us at all times. And thoughts of other people can also be electrical energy, and they send out little blips of radio signals, so to speak, or little thought waves, and we pick up on those. And you can run into thought waves, believe it or not. Every thought goes out into the universe, and you can run across someone else's thought wave. So that is part of the reason we pick up so strongly on energy that connects to mass events. And so, we've had our share in this country of mass events this month. And if you're a little bit somber or a little bit sad, it may not be because of you. It may be because of the collective. And Jupiter opposing Uranus is going to bring out a discontent of energy around cooperation and the masses. So there is not only difficulty that we see with the Venus-Mars detaching from an emotion. And let me tell you, when you have a detachment from other people, which is emotion connects us to other people. When you have a detachment, it's very easy to just do whatever you want to do to them. And so Venus coming up on Mars can absolutely, in Virgo, have a very clipped or detached energy, because I don't really often talk about the Mercury energy around detachment, because Uranus is the go-to planet for that kind of detachment. But it is very strong. Uranus is a stronger, more voluminous, there we go, voluminous energy of Mercury. So it is going to be much more profound in how it is perceived in the world and the actions taken when Uranus influences us. But Mercury does also have a similar energy, not quite as loud, but definitely still involved in our lives. And it means that we are answering to some of that energy of erraticism and not knowing which way things are going to go, or not necessarily understanding how to cooperate with people right now. So let's see, I've got Venus joining Mars. When does that happen? It joins at, I take it back. It was 12:53 p.m. on Thursday. Venus joins Mars, and then Moon and Sun join at 2:40 p.m. Opposed, which is when the Moon is full at 2:40 p.m. Eastern. So we've got this energy, a lot of energy coming up on Thursday, because the Moon joins Mercury, or opposes Mercury. Get my little symbols right here. So the Moon opposes Mercury, and then Venus joins Mars, and then Moon opposes the Sun. So we have a lot of transient energy, meaning interpersonal, meaning one-on-one kind of energy of people in our environment, how we connect to those that are closest to us. And the Sun is self. The Sun also can represent father figure or a male energy that's very strong in your life. Venus coming up on Mars. Venus is women, Mars is men. Venus is mothers, Mars is fathers. Venus is sisters, Mars is brothers. Can be female friends, can be male friends, can be female coworkers and male coworkers coming together. So it's the masculine, feminine energy coming together. And there is cooperation under intellectualism on Thursday, and it's approaching. So we are becoming of one mind with situations. Now, October 3rd, right now, let me do an even more current one. I did this about 15 minutes before the show started, so let me real quick get that up to speed. Okay, so right now we have Moon at 13 degrees Pisces and Neptune at 12 Pisces, which means that the Moon-Neptune conjunction is within a few degrees of a direct opposition to Venus-Mars on the other side. So it adds tremendous amount of emotion and water and the masses, which is Neptune, to the mix. So if you're wondering astrologically where this is in the chart, what's been going on, where it is in the chart, it's Venus-Mars opposing Neptune-Moon. It is Uranus opposing Jupiter. And it's Mercury joining up with the Sun, which, by the way, we have, they are coming up on this part of the sky that has been the transiting sign of Jupiter for the last year. So they are going over this area of the sky and picking up energy that we have had to deal with over the last year, everybody and individually. And so we've gone through this awakening process that Jupiter has. It's brought us to a bigger awareness of how we interact with others in a codependent nature, and wanting to have our boundaries within ourselves, within those relationships. So the two planets, Sun and Mercury, are in square to Pluto. They are approaching square, because Pluto's at 16 degrees Capricorn and the Sun is at 10. So again, we are having this triggering point of Pluto, and it means that we are having two split ideas which probably is even more than that with Mercury Sun conjunct. It's multiple viewpoints on how to deal with things, squaring the tradition, squaring what we are used to. And now, of course, Pluto's direct. So Pluto's going back over something they've already gone over before. And yet now there is more of an opposition, or not an opposition, opposition from an ideological viewpoint, a metaphorical viewpoint, but literally a square. But people are opposing or in contrast to authority right now. And at the same time, we have the late degree Uranus and the late degree Jupiter in square energy to that Pluto in Capricorn. So they're fighting. They're fighting each other, and it isn't quite as intense on some level. There is a little bit of cooperation coming in with the Venus and Mars in Virgo, because you're going to have the analytical, how do I explain Virgo? Virgo wants to help people understand things. They are the teacher of the zodiac. So when Venus and Mars are conjunct in Virgo, it is this very strong energy of cooperation together, Venus and Mars, usually two differing or opposing energies coming together to understand and help teach. In trine with Pluto, Pluto is, again, authority, structure, tradition, but now it's direct. It's not going back to the past. Even though it is tradition, Pluto wants to change and shift the ideology, wants to make people more aware of something that they didn't know before, and now it will change their world. Okay? Venus at 1639 today, Pluto at 1651 in Earth signs. So they are trining each other, and trines, especially when Mars is included, and in the sign of Mercury's sign of Virgo, will create accidents and conflict of some sort. Virgo also does rule militia or the military, and so that can be involved. I actually have a cousin who's going away for some training and then shipping out for Afghanistan within the next month. And so you can see a certain amount of ramping up in this regard. Because we have Jupiter at late degrees of Libra, it is a time of negotiation, trying to get along with someone you may not really want to continue doing any business with, or doing emotional contact or partnering energy. So it's like the last bit of attempting to make it work. I can tell you I'm going through this a little bit with my living situation. I have a landlord situation that kind of came up in my world, because also Mercury rules neighbors, and it can rule in Virgo. You can have the energy of landlords, or even Taurus. Taurus is big. Sagittarius is property and sales. So there could be some landlord / sales, real estate agent energy coming into your world right now with what's going on, because we have this really strong energy around the land and earth energy, but we also have Saturn at 22 Sagittarius coming into a square, or actually Venus and Mars are coming into a square with Saturn in Virgo. And so there's this connection to trying to get the neighbor issues / real estate issues squared away and or resolved, and it may be bringing those up in your world. So yeah, I've been dealing with some stuff around the property I live in, and honestly was going to move. Then my daughter indicated that she wasn't really wanting to, so I changed that, and then I did a little thinking maybe it's better if I move, and then now my landlord is saying, well, you don't have to go. And so there's a lot of Jupiter and Libra back and forth and waffling. So after the 11th, we'll have Jupiter in Scorpio, and it will be much more clear-minded and black and white, because Scorpio is nothing if not black and white. And that can also make it very stubborn. So Jupiter expansion, transformation, self-interest going into the sign of change, because remember again, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, major life change, and it's clarity on some level. It stops looking at everybody's viewpoint, and because Jupiter is about self-interest, it will go into Scorpio and act on its own behalf, because it's been spending the last year trying to be aware of what it needs, its desires. Libra, which is where Jupiter has been, is ruled by Venus, so it's about desires. And then it's going into Scorpio, which is going to make it commit to those desires. So if you've been waffling right now, that's part of it. And we're really trying to resolve that something we may desire, the Venus connection to Libra, may not be where we truly can be happy in the end. So Jupiter needs to have freedom of movement. And when Jupiter goes into Scorpio, there will be a commitment to movement and a commitment to freedom. So whatever that looks like to you, that's coming into your world in the next couple of weeks. You're going to get awakened to that energy. So Scorpio, Scorpio is going to be bringing out lots of secrets, sex secrets. It's going to, Scorpio is very seductive and very sexy and rules the underworld, which is also associated with secrets. It's associated with the occult. It's associated with death and rebirth, dying. We are definitely, oh my gosh, it's so hard sometimes. I'm trying really hard to be positive, but, there's light and dark in astrology. We have ego, we have our secrets, and we have the light, and we have spiritual growth. And Scorpio is about the dark, and it can be about the light. When it's in the light and the positive, it's about using its knowledge and wisdom and information that comes out from the secrets in a positive way to help others. And it can be very passionate and very connected and wants to connect, and it wants to merge, but it feels so connected to other people and other emotional ideas that it feels very exposed. That's why Scorpio hides feelings and emotions. That's why, because they run so deep, they feel completely exposed already by the very nature that they are an emotional creature. They wear their heart on their sleeves, or they feel like they do if they open up. So in order to protect, which I think is kind of a common theme among the water signs, they hide things because they don't want to be found out that they really do care that deeply. So we will see this come out. Jupiter, which again rules Sagittarius, Jupiter will expose those secrets because Jupiter doesn't care. Jupiter says, you know what? This is the way it is. I've seen it. Okay, so Scorpio wants to hide it. Jupiter wants to expose it. So what happens when Jupiter is in Scorpio is he increases what the realm is. So he increases our desire to hide further and then get exposed. That's the dichotomy of the Scorpio energy. So when Jupiter goes in October 11th, if you've been seeking out information about your partner, that will come out. The information will come out. If you've been sneaking around with a private eye, private detective getting it, that will come out. It will all come out because Jupiter wants to expose it. And Scorpio is going to be really deep and really passionate, and Jupiter wants to have freedom kind of in a degree because Jupiter rules the sign right after Scorpio. The energy of having built on each energy around the chart, you have the depth and the intensity, and then you have the next sign, which is freedom from that more superficial energy and doesn't care about the details, which if you get into the next sign, Capricorn, they care about the details. They want to label all the details. And then after that is Aquarius, where, again, back to the freedom, back to the detachment, because Capricorn is so responsible, so attached, that Aquarius detaches. So we have a lot of stuff going on. And again, we have this whole mix of education, because Saturn in Sagittarius is also education. They just go about it in a different way. The Sagittarius energy wants to learn through experience and learn through physical activity and adventure, whereas Virgo learns through curiosity and through reading and through maybe, like for me, I'm a Virgo and I have a ton of planets in Virgo. I love YouTube because I can see it. I'm a visual person as an artist, and you can go to YouTube and search up just about any topic you can think of, and there will be somebody who's made a video of it, and you can learn about it. So the way those are done normally would be in conflict, and we have a square between Saturn and Venus-Mars conjunction. But Mars is a fire energy, and Sagittarius is a fire energy. So there's a little bit more physical activity going on between the two. So Mars-Venus is going to stick up for education, for learning, for growth around education. And Saturn in Sagittarius is going to be much more ready to take action in a fiery, spiritual way. Like, I don't even know how to explain this. That the way they learn is much more physical. So it's more ADHD, whereas Mars and Virgo is ADD. So one's just hyper mental activity and the other one's hyper physical activity. I guess that's probably the best way to explain it. And so they're at kind of odds at how to take that act, but both are committed to learning and growth through learning. So we see this energy coming in now, and it'll be in conflict because one side will be very brash, just take action, just do it, and the other side will be, yeah, but we have to learn about it, and we have to know what we've got once we've learned what we've learned, and we'll take action on it once we understand it intellectually. So they're not very in sync with the modality, but they both want to get to the same place. So let's see what else. So the Neptune moon, obviously more dreamy, more tired. My gosh, I normally sleep 7 hours a day. I went to bed last night at 10:30. My daughter gets up early in the morning, and I was up around 6. And I did not wake up in my body. I was up, but I was so groggy until 8. And that's a lot of hours. That's a lot of hours, 10 hours. And I was just coming into awakeness around 8 a.m. So you're going to see that right now. We're going to see that energy and sleepy and dreamy and visions. And, the Venus-Mars opposite Moon and Neptune is going to make us a little bit drowsy. I mean, I have a lot of Virgo, and it makes you kind of foggy-headed when your thought processes are there. You can't really get a grip on what you're thinking. So we have that. And let me see, did I touch on kind of what I wanted to say? I know that there was more. I really wanted to touch on some Jupiter going into Scorpio. I did touch on that. But I guess I know I've been mentioning it last week and this week. I just want to give you a heads up because it's going to be a year of release and things dying, because that's the nature of Scorpio. And it is a time where we will be learning about the process of dying and really honestly learning to release it and having freedom, Jupiter, from the death process or from feeling so afraid of it. There's a whole generation of Pluto and Scorpio, and that whole generation kind of, sadly, I think they've gone through probably more than their share of loss of life, just because Capricorn is the structure. I can't get my thoughts out here. Not Capricorn. Pluto is major life change around death, rebirth. So the Pluto energy is really immersed in the whole idea, the process of death and rebirth and dying. So having Pluto in Scorpio means that you're likely here on Earth to try and understand that. And those are the children of the 80s who had that. So having Jupiter going through that energy is going to trigger that Pluto energy in your chart. And so it will be about understanding and having freedom from the process of dying. So you're going to be exposed to it so that you can really finally integrate it and not be absorbed in it anymore. So anyway, there's just so much that comes up in the week, and I want to express it. And anyway, I hope that I have given you a little insight and that it's not too dark. I do want to be more positive, but I think taking callers is always going to be a more positive thing. And so I'm going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back in a few minutes, couple minutes. Well, I'm coming back because that song actually goes on about 7 minutes, and I don't want to take that big a break. So, anyway, welcome back. You're listening to the AstroEnergy Astrology Show on Blog Talk Radio. My name is Shelley Overton in Orlando, Florida. If you're interested in getting a private reading from me, you can get me at astrologerangel.com, and I would love to talk to you. So let's see. Yeah, that's all. Anyway, let's go to the phone lines. Let's take 330. Hi, 330. How are you?
Hi, Shelley. I'm great.
Great. Have you called the show before?
Yeah. You know what? This is Ruth. And,
okay.
I've called for a couple private readings, but never the show
wonderful.
before.
Oh, okay. Awesome. I don't have my computer open to that particular window. Is it possible to just get your information again real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great.
My birthday is, tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. February 1st, 1988.
Okay.
And
time?
I didn't know my time, and I forget what we figured out. I think it was probably around like 9 or 10 a.m. or something like that.
You know what? If that's the case, I'm just going to go real quick to my clients list and get it so it's easier. PU, yep, there you are. February 14th, you said?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no,
the
1st, February 1st.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I think I've got...
no, we did a reading.
No, that was somebody else.
Yeah,
that
was
somebody
actually
else.
my boyfriend.
Sorry. Okay, yeah. So I'll just use this, and I'll put in the anonymous area code instead of your last name real quick, and that way we can save that chart and have it all ready. So awesome. Yeah, we came up with 7:30 a.m. actually.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay. So what can I do for you today?
Talk about everything in flux. I feel like nothing is really steady right now, and I guess the biggest thing on my docket is just to kind of see where you thought, like a move is possible, because I don't have like a really reliable income now. I was considering moving out at the end of the month. But I don't know.
Live?
But
if you don't mind my asking.
Los Angeles, California.
Okay. Well, a lot of the energy is in the south for sure. So career-wise, the southwest would be okay. So if you wanted to move further east, away from where you're at, actually in the next year, you're going to probably start to be, well, right now, Jupiter is in the southeastern part of your chart, and Saturn is in the southwestern, and Saturn's career. So for the next 5 years, that's in the southwest. So if you're not in LA, I would suggest, ironically, Phoenix, because I've been considering Phoenix myself, Phoenix or Albuquerque or Santa Fe, somewhere in there. Yeah. Or even as far over as, let me see, I'm trying to think Dallas is a little bit farther over. But, somewhere, I'm just trying to figure out, according to your chart, I'm just picturing, I'm laying it over the country, trying to figure out what would be good.
My boyfriend and I have been considering, because we're both from the animation industry, and we were both almost considering Canada, like Ottawa.
Yeah, because
just in case nothing works out for either of us here, because he's about to kind of get into another lull. So I don't know if that would even be a possibility.
Well, I would say definitely. So when you say animation, I mean it's digital, which could be Uranus, and that would be okay because you have Uranus actually closer to the northwest. But if you're thinking more like graphics, that would be, say, New York. I would say New York, or even, I mean, I always assign, I don't know, in my mind, Leo is children energy, so it's like cartoons. But, having any of the fire energy is still doable for that kind of realm. So, I'm just looking here what else you have in your chart. I would honestly say for a career, stick to the west side of the U.S. or, Canada. Anywhere in the west would be more conducive to a career. Definitely the southwest could be a possibility, but if you're looking Vancouver, that's also, you've got Uranus on Jupiter right now. Jupiter is your planet of fortune, and Uranus is about shifts and changes around that. Let me just see career-wise, where your Saturn's in Sagittarius, and you're in a Saturn return within 6 degrees of a Saturn return, which means November, December is going to be really a big shift for you. That's probably when you're going to want to move. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Saturn hits your Uranus right before it goes into Capricorn, it's going to hit Uranus at 29 degrees, like the first week to the middle week of December. And that's when something unexpected may come up. There may be another job offer. I wouldn't be surprised if you come up with something then, because the nature of Uranus is the unexpected. So, and it's in its own house for you. So there's definitely I'm free to do whatever I want. And and also, which I usually talk about, but it didn't strike me till just now, is creating your own company or making an entrepreneurial business out of it, just doing your own thing, a contract or something. So is that what you do, or is that something you want to do?
Well, if I could stay in the realm of animation, that would be great. And I've actually had so much time to myself. I've been, kind of developing my own ideas and stuff like that. It just takes forever. I'm not like a trained writer, so I have to go over my a bunch of times. But if I have stuff to show within the next couple months and something happens around December, then maybe I should be on the lookout more for a big job opportunity than just cutting and running.
Right. Well, I think you're thinking of moving, and that's a possibility, but Jupiter actually gets to your midheaven in a year. So this time next year, you're going to have Jupiter right up there, and that's even more inclination towards moving and a major shift in your career. Fortunate shift, okay? And that also will be like a long distance move, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and it's going to be going into Sagittarius as soon as it gets to your midheaven, because you have a 29-degree Scorpio midheaven, and then it goes into Sagittarius, which will make that major shift. And it's also the real estate connection, so there will be something going on there, long distance and travel. So I don't necessarily think you won't move soon, but you will definitely move in a year.
I don't know if this is an answerable question, but would that involve my partner at all?
Let me look at that real quick. Well, let me just do a chart for next year. Oh, actually, you know what? I'll just look at the ephemeris here real quick, because you've got Mars is a slower planet to go around the zodiac, and it'll be at Capricorn next year. So I think that there's some strong potential. I think that Mars right now is in your house of commitment, and it will be around over near where Saturn is at that time, in August of next year. It'll be at, Aquarius and Capricorn. So I think what's going to happen is that by the time it hits Sagittarius, let me see here. Let me just find out where it's at. It's just so slow. It doesn't hit Sagittarius until late January and into February. So, relatively slow, I should say. So, and Saturn's at 4 Capricorn at that time. So let me see when it hits. It's going to hit Saturn, and that's going to be a major shift around career as well. So the end of March is going to be probably a real telltale sign for what goes on with that. But at the same time, Mars hitting Jupiter, I think, will also be like a discussion about whether or not you're going to go. Can I say for sure he's going to be there? Not in a quick eyeballing for the show. But how is it going? I mean, does it feel good, or do you feel, are there issues, or just tell me that, and because I got some other things I want to kind of see how that plays out by what you say.
Yeah, you know what? It's going well. We both have been extremely stressed out, and we've gotten into like a couple like arguments, but they always end positively.
Okay.
And I feel like, you know, we're just doing the slow and steady thing right now, and it's good.
That's good.
You know, I feel both of us have expressed our very strong feelings for each other, but also have expressed, you know, let's get the rest of life kind of squared away first.
Okay. Well, is now his birthday's March 30th. Oh no, I'm on the wrong one.
February 1st.
February 1st,
February
right?
14th. The 14th.
Right. Okay, so hang on one second. I'm back and forth through a bunch of different windows, so I'm just trying to find my way and still have something to say on the podcast. So give me a second while I find him again real quick here, because I just wanted to look at what's going on with him. And where are you? I just saved you. Oh, don't tell me I saved you into the wrong file. Okay, I probably saved you into the one that you were already in. Yay. Oh, I don't know where it is. Darn it. Hang on. I'm almost there. There we go. Okay, I found him. Okay, so let's just see what's going on with him. He has a great name. I like his name.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I won't say it because it's kind of unique, and I don't want anybody to think, oh, yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious.
Yeah. Let's see. So he's got a lot of Aquarius in his chart, and he's got, did we know for sure the time, or did I do a sunrise for him? I think it might be a sunrise.
I think we did a sunrise too.
Okay. Yeah, we did. So he's got an Aquarius sun and a Mercury at 29 Aquarius right near his sun. He's got Mars in Aquarius. And so next year, the Aquarius energy, it actually isn't going to happen for a while. So that's good. Now he's got Saturn and Virgo. He's a worker. Like, I think if you two stick close together with work, I think he's going to be fairly committed to that. I think if you haven't already, let me put this, if you haven't already gone separate directions, I would say that there's a strong commitment and a bond with the two of you, and it's a good combination because he's got Uranus, which is the unexpected, at 20 Scorpio. So Jupiter on that could mean a shift. Again, it's around entrepreneurial, it's around unexpected moves and changes and shifts. So definitely next year will be another time with the two of you that's going to trigger, if anything happens commitment-wise, that where he wants freedom or something, it would happen next year.
Yeah. Okay.
And let me see, it would happen actually January would be the first sign of it, because he'll have Jupiter right on Uranus in his chart. And again, Scorpio.
January 2018?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he'll have it literally on the 29th of January, but it's in 20 degrees the whole last week and a half of January. So he's going to feel a really strong need for freedom and independence and a shift and a move and a transition. So if he can translate that into either education or career, I don't think it's going to be anything too harsh for you, but the guy has some Aquarius energy, and he has Neptune and Sagittarius. The guy has to be moving on. He has to move in his life. So if you're open to moving, then it should be okay. You know, it's like he's got Saturn and Virgo, which is very committed.
Yeah, he's already spoken a lot about changing, you know, if what he's doing right now isn't working out, he wants to change careers. But and, you know, we've talked about moving and we've talked about going somewhere else, and I'm down for it. I mean,
your game.
Los Angeles isn't my absolute favorite place.
Right. Well,
but
for you,
where a lot of the money is, and that's you know why I moved out. But
right, you kind of resonate more to, I could see the colder vibe. Neptune and Capricorn is more the colder climes for you, because Capricorn is always about chilling out and freezing and cold. So Neptune and Capricorn means you need a place that's more earthy, like mountains, and someplace a little bit more cool. So I could see Vancouver would be an okay place for you. Let me see for him, where is Neptune? His Neptune's in Sagittarius, so he kind of likes the warmth. He's a little more into warm. But he has Venus in Capricorn.
Go either way. I grew up in Northeast Ohio, so I could go either way.
Okay. Well, he has Venus in Capricorn, so he would do it for love. And he has Saturn in Virgo. So there's a chill, earthy energy there. But he also has air and fire. And he's got 4 air, and 1 fire. So, 2 fire. Jupiter's in Leo for him, too. So, so yeah, I mean, you could try it. If there's a place that you can think of that might be a little cooler and breezier, that might be good too. So, but West Coast somewhere. I can also, if you wanted to look further and like do an actual reading, and we could look into the astrocartography of the whole thing, I could do that, in a private session sometime. But, yeah. Anyway, well, it's good talking to you again. Yeah. Thanks for the call. All right, take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, 202. Hi, 202. How are you?
Hey, Shelley. Thanks for taking my call. It's Kay. Long time.
Hey, Kay. Good to talk to you. What's up in your world?
Hey. Oh, lots is up. And what your talk definitely resonated in so many ways, especially with the melancholy.
Really?
Just like random melancholy. And I just cannot shake. Yeah, it's like, what the hell is wrong with me?
No, it's Moon in Pisces too. Every time, Moon goes into water sign, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah, you could cry at any moment.
Yeah. Fortunately, it's actually in fire. I think didn't it go into fire now? Let me see. No, it's still in Pisces. So yeah, we've got another day.
I was about to say, it feels like it.
Yeah, and then expect kind of an emotional battle. There's definitely going to be a battle. It's going to be police and guns again, probably with the Moon in Aries in full. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we have some acting out, in our future, in the near future, on the full moon. But anyway, what can I do for you?
I was calling to ask you a couple things. One, I'd spoken with you before, and you gave me a great reading with regards to someone who I wanted to partner up with for a film that I'm working on. His birthday was October 4th. And we've had some great talks together, but I wanted to know what a good time was to ask him to officially partner up.
Oh, okay. Did you give me do I have his on file still, maybe?
Maybe.
I mean,
you can see it's October 4th,
Brian?
57.
Nope, it's not that one. Okay, let me go through a few of these. October 4th. I have 4 for you and 3 guys, and none are October 4th. So I'm going to have to do a new chart again real quick here. And can I at least have his first name, even if it's made up?
We'll say Rob.
Rob? Okay. And let's see. I apologize to those who are listening, like, this is so boring when you're typing, but I have to put it in here so I can find it again.
Good.
Let's see. Okay, there we go. And what's October 4th, you said?
Yep, October 4th,
1957.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he turns 60 tomorrow, the big 60. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 57,
yep. Yeah, do you know what time?
Queens, New York.
Queens, okay.
No time.
Okay, we'll do a sunrise for him then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you? Sunrise. There we go. Okay. Well, don't do that. Oh, okay. I've got to re-enter. Every time I did, there's this glitch in my program. It changes the date. So I got to put his 1957 back in. Okay. All right. I kind of know his chart. I was married to someone born in 57 in September, so it's probably not far off of my ex. But let's see here. Okay. So he has Sun in Libra, Jupiter in Libra, Mars in Libra, of course, Libra rising because it's based on the sun. He has Neptune in Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio, Saturn in Sagittarius, and he just went past the Saturn return. And so now that's kind of over, and he's getting more into wanting to communicate. And of course, having Sagittarius in the house of communications is, of course, this is a sunrise chart. It is valid. I can read it from there, but it's not exact to his time. So
gotcha.
I guess, you know, he will exhibit some of these behaviors because you can read a chart that way. But I guess I want to say that he's into more expressing himself through action right now because Saturn is in the third
very
house.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Speaks very quickly.
Yeah. And he has Mercury in Virgo, which also makes him very fast, quick thinker.
It's hard to keep
and he has
up
Pluto.
with.
Pluto 1 degree Virgo also. He has Uranus in Leo, which means he has that genius energy and creativity. He's probably an amazing artist and creative mind. Yep. And he has Moon in Aquarius, which makes him fast too. So tell me what it is specifically that you were thinking about for, what is it about the partnership?
For film. In a film capacity, I want him to be
absolutely.
a producer, executive producer.
Yes. Do you have, well, let me tell you, I won't ask you, I'll tell you. How about that? I was going to ask you if you have a timeline when you want to do that, but don't answer because I'm just looking for, okay, so this is good. Neptune is retrograde right now. Neptune rules film, and it goes direct on the 23rd of November. Right now, his Neptune, which again is film, is in his house of work. It just went in. It's 1 degree into his house of work. It goes all the way back to 11 degrees and 28 minutes, which goes back into his house of creativity, which can be good. But if you do ask him, if you can put it off to the end of November to really do something about it, that would be better because then it's the creative energy, and even better still if it gets past that 11:32, which is December 8th. Like December 9th would be optimal because, I mean, again, we don't know his rising sign. So, I mean, astrologically what I have, that would be the timing of it because Neptune is just at the beginning of his house of work with Neptune. So you want it to be something that you're working on together. That would be, it would make his Neptune more practical. Neptune retrograde is still really practical, but the problem with Neptune retrograde this close to going direct is that you can start the project, but when Neptune changes, then suddenly the ideal situation isn't so ideal anymore, and now things have shifted in how you look at it. So, like, say, for instance, you could ask him to be a partner, and he'd be very creative because, again, Neptune's retrograding back towards his 5th house of creativity. Yes, wonderful ideas, da-da-da-da-da, and very clear about it. After Neptune goes direct and back into the house of work, he's going to get very laid back about things because Neptune is very chill and lets things come at will. It's a receptive energy. So while, I mean, potentially if you asked him soon, by progression, that Neptune will be retrograde in the chart of you asking him. And so it will be there for a while because Neptune is so slow. By the time it hits that direct motion, it will, in number of years, it'll be like literally 25 years before Neptune goes direct in the chart of asking him. Okay?
Okay.
But if you ask him after, and you may still experience some of that, you may still experience the laid back, laissez-faire, not meeting deadlines. It's Neptune. It's Pisces in the house of work. It's like chill. So, and also Venus, Mars are opposing that. So I would tend to say it depends on what you want out of him. If you want him to be a partner that is the creative partner, he's got that down. If you want him to be the practical work partner, he's going to struggle with that.
Not practical work, I don't think. I think I just kind of want his name attached, and I'd actually like to be the creative. I'd like creative control.
Okay. Well, as long as you recognize that he's not going to be, I mean, there will be some pragmatism because he's got Venus and Mars transiting Virgo in his chart, but it's in the 12th house. So, and he's also got Neptune in the work house. So, I mean, he's like the creative silent partner, and that would be a good thing. That's what you want?
Yeah,
then
that's
I say
exactly
yes.
Yep.
If that's what you want, then it's a yes and a go. If you want someone who's going to do the practical work for you and help you with the actual structure of things,
I'm happy to do that.
he's not going to be good. Okay.
So you still say the end of November for that ask, even though I want him to be in that vein?
I would honestly wait until the moon gets out of Pisces. If you can wait till the moon gets into Aries, then that would be
in a few days, basically.
Yeah, only because it's past Neptune right now, and let me see.
Actually, I take it back. That's fine.
If you want to wait, if you want to do it immediately, Moon's going to be opposite Venus and Mars, so there will be like opposing viewpoints or opposing desires, so to speak. Honestly, I can give you a number of different times, and each have their own unique coloring to what you're going to do for it. So
I guess as soon as possible, but still like cooperative energy, you know.
I would say as soon as possible, still cooperative energy would probably be today, because you're still only 1 degree off of Neptune, and Venus is approaching Mars. So there's a coming together of the two energies.
So today, and then is there a date after today?
And then,
in case I don't get them?
Well, after today, you're coming up on a full moon. Hold on one second.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I hope I muted that. I had to clear my throat. I hope I didn't actually subject anybody to that. No, but after the moon goes full, you really only have 2 days till the moon is full, and then it's assertive, aggressive sales. That would be in his house of work. So he would be the salesperson, kind of. He would be the promoter, so to speak, energy. The moon would put him in the promotion, like get it done. Let's get it out there and everybody hear what we have to say. So that can be beneficial. And I would also recommend that if you don't do it today, you don't wait till later tonight or tomorrow, because the moon's going to be on Chiron, and that's the wounded healer, and then you're going to have some like hurt feelings. So
either today or
today or Thursday, early Thursday would be good, because then you'll have the full moon in Aries in the chart, and for him that would be full moon in the house of work, and it would be promotional.
Does it matter if he's on the West Coast, like early, like what?
Yeah, just.
It doesn't matter. Sorry, when he responds.
Yeah, do it in the morning.
About when I ask.
You said he's on the West Coast or East Coast?
West Coast. I'm on the East Coast.
You're on the East Coast. Well, the full moon is at, I think I said 2 in the afternoon, and also Venus joins Mars at 12:53 Eastern time, p.m. So if you do it before 12:53 Eastern, then that would be good, because then Venus would join Mars, which is coming together, a man and woman. Like I said in the beginning of the show, it's like coming together in work. And then he would have the full moon coming up in the house of work. So that would be like optimal to do it Thursday morning before 12:53.
Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eastern.
And it doesn't matter when he responds or reads it. It's just about
No, I mean, if you make the action, if you take the action, then it sets in motion that intention. So the intention is the chart. Okay. But yeah, I would do it in the morning before 12:53 p.m. Eastern, which would be 9:53 a.m. for you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. 9 before.
All right. And then you have the full moon in the chart. And after that, then the moon will start to wane, which means pulling away of energy. And the next opportunity, I mean, you could do it when it goes into Taurus, which goes into his house of partnership. And that's still okay. But then you come up on Uranus, late degree. I could go on and on. You know, like I said, the moon's very transient. So it keeps making all sorts of aspects.
Today and Thursday morning is what I'll do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Try to avoid evening tonight, or I mean, you don't want to hit moon at 25 degrees, and you can probably look that up on the internet if you want. Astro.com probably has current aspects and tells you the degree of the moon if you want to look at it. Just don't hit 25, because that's Chiron. So that would be a wound in between the two of you, and you wouldn't like that. Okay?
It's probably Thursday, but I'm going to wait because I want to prepare something to send to him, and I can't do that.
Awesome. Well, so today might be a good day to do that. Yeah.
So to prepare.
Yeah, today actually the moon is on your sun and your Mercury. So that'll give you, and it's also 3 degrees off of your Mercury, which is contracts and communication and thoughts, you know, anything written down. So that's good. Okay. Cool.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We have to go, right? I was going to ask if you see any health stuff for me. I also have some health stuff, but I'll call back another time for that then.
Yeah, your house of health isn't so bad, but of course the Venus Mars in health issues that, it could be legs, leg cramps, anything around the legs, because that all the health stuff falls up in your house of the Sagittarius house, the ninth house.
I've got tumors basically on my uterus that they want to remove.
Oh, okay. Well, if they want to remove it, that would be Jupiter and Scorpio, because that rules surgery. So, and it also, and Scorpio also rules reproductive organs. So I wouldn't do it until after the 11th if you're thinking about doing it. And then please do contact me if you want a good day to try and elect a surgery date. But you want to avoid moon in Aries, especially full moon in Aries for a surgery, which I don't think you're going to have it in 2 days. But that is blood loss and blood. And I mean fuller expression of blood. So it's much bloodier on a moon in Aries. Okay.
I think I was looking at it for the moon in Cap.
Yeah, that would probably, it could be better, but, major life change. Even though Pluto rules Scorpio, sorry, I just shut off my mic accidentally.
No, it's okay.
Capricorn, potentially, it's changed to structure, which would be the body and the skeleton. I personally would say it is your second house of the body, though. Again, I would say, because I'm running out of time and it's something you have to look into and look at all the different aspects, I would say call me back or, do a mini reading or something with me on my site. So, okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you so much for all of your help.
You're welcome. My pleasure. It's always good talking to you.
You too. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that's the show for the week. I apologize to anyone who hasn't gotten a reading, who may have waited. I apologize. But next week is always another week, and please do give me a call. And that's all for this week. If you'd like to check out some of my art, go to ShelleyOverton.com or my blog for my house and the land I live on. And my art is dottedsky.com. So anyway, take care. Bye. Thanks for stopping by AstroEnergy this week. If you would like to get a hold of Shelley Overton, you can get her at astrologerangel.com, on Facebook at AstroEnergy or Astrologer Angel. The music was provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com with additional music by Ironwood Rain. Check them out on the net at ironwoodrain.com. To subscribe, please click the picture of Shelley on the right or the red button below.